started coming more often, I started having more pain, the bleeding started coming even more. It scared me because when my mom got sick, she had cancer, and the first thing she said it was pain. So my mind, I was thinking that it was cancer. I didn't know it was a fibroid. I was thinking it was cancer.
You know, it's interesting, fibroids are so common. You'd think that by now we'd really have it figured out what causes them, what their natural history is for them, that to the point where we could really provide accurate advice to women for what's the best thing to do at that point in her life. But we really don't have that kind of information.
The goal of CompareUF, simply put, is to provide the information that women with uterine fibroids and the providers who take care of them, to provide them with the best information possible to help them make clear decisions about their management. Our take-home point to women out there is that this study is for you and is to serve you and your providers.
When I was first diagnosed, my initial reaction was, wow, I didn't know they were even there. This was found out during an ultrasound, so I initially wanted to learn more. What caused them? Why do you get them? Is it related to diet? Can you get rid of them? What are the ways to get rid of them? Does it impact fertility in the future? And I wasn't sure.
We know that women have a broad lifespan. Sometimes they are looking for management options that will allow them to keep their uterus and be able to have future children. Sometimes it may be that they just aren't ready to proceed with surgical management. So having more information about the outcomes of different treatment options can help them to make better decisions and have healthier lives. The goal of our research team here at UNC is to recruit women that reflect the diverse population that we see within our university. We know that there are certain populations of women, for example, African American women, who are disproportionately affected by uterine fibroids. And so one of our goals is to recruit the broad range of women that we see here who meet our inclusion criteria, but in particular we want to reach out to women of color, particularly African American women who we know are affected more often by this condition.
I hope that women that are impacted by uterine fibroids will feel the way that I do and will be willing to participate in this study. If someone were to come to me and ask, why should I be a participant in this study? I would say this study is very important to women such as yourself that have been diagnosed with uterine fibroids to help them make better decisions when it comes to providing better care, taking care of themselves, in addition to learning what goes into making the best decisions for managing their symptoms that are related to their fibroids. Over the 5 years of the CompareUF study, a participant could receive up to $80 in gift card. You'll be required to do 2 baseline follow-up visits and 4 follow-up phone calls annually up to 5 years.
I think it can make a very big impact because on a daily basis, the major thing that we're doing is actually spending a lot of time talking to patients about what their goals of therapy are. So women with fibroids may be at different stages in their lives and have different goals of outcomes, whether they want to achieve pregnancy, whether they are having bleeding or pain problems, or whether they want a definitive therapy with removal of the uterus. And our ability to counsel them and provide enough information to give them the outcome that they're seeking, we need a lot more information than we currently have about how fibroids act over time and at what stage of life different interventions would be most appropriate for different patients. Your participation would greatly affect our ability to understand how to treat you and patients like you in the future and give you better counseling so that we can recommend the best option for you and your personalized medical care.
Well, once we have the results of this study, I think we'll be able to provide providers with information they need about outcomes, information they need about women's perceptions of how well they did before and after treatment. And I think it works similarly for all the women out there with uterine fibroids. We'll be able to provide that information to them as well. So I think that allows both women as well as their providers to come to the table equally to decide on the best management.
I think as we get the data from the study and we learn about what things work best and what outcomes are sufficient for patients to regain their normal function, their work life, their social life, and their sexual life, that we will be able to help women make these decisions in the future in a way where we have much more knowledge to tell them what the likelihood of a certain outcome will be.